Today, we're going to be talking about living organisms and their life processes that require them to live. The 7 life processes that require living organisms to live include movement, respiration, reproduction, nutrition, growth, sensitivity, and excretion. Without these 7 processes, the animals could die, so they are like puzzle pieces to life. Movement is the first life process, living organisms being able to move their body. If an organism wasn't able to move their body, then they wouldn't be able to live. Say running, for instance. If none of these organisms could run, they would just be a vegetable. The second life process is respiration, living organisms taking in one gas and getting rid of another. So animals and humans, birds, cows, chickens, they release carbon dioxide when they breathe out. But they need to breathe in oxygen. Where do they get this oxygen? Well, we get the oxygen from our plants. The plants breathe in our carbon dioxide, and then the plants release oxygen so that we can breathe and live. The next life process is reproduction, living organisms being able to produce young. This is when a mom and a dad come together and make a baby. If we weren't able to produce the young, how are we supposed to increase our numbers and continue living? Because once mom and dad die, there's nobody to take their place. So it's very important for organisms to be able to produce young. The fourth life process is nutrition, living organisms being able to eat food to get energy. So if we don't have food, we don't have enough energy, and therefore we can't live. So it's very important for us to be able to eat, for animals to be able to eat, and if their food sources become scarce or non-existent, then they die off and our animals and our living organisms cannot further out their life. This next life process is called growth. Living organisms use energy to get bigger and repair damaged cells. This directly relates to reproduction and nutrition. When a baby is born, they have to eat food and use that energy to grow bigger and stronger and become a mommy or daddy of themselves so that they can have young of their own. The sixth life process is sensitivity, living organisms using senses like smell and taste to find out about the world. If animals or living organisms weren't able to use their senses, they wouldn't be able to explore and figure out what would be safe or what couldn't be safe or what would hurt them. So it's very important for them to be able to explore so they can figure out how to live. The last life process that we're going to be discussing is excretion. Living organisms get rid of their waste products from food. It's important for them to be able to do this because if we weren't able to get rid of our food, we would just kind of blow up into a big balloon and die. We wouldn't be able to live. We have to be able to get rid of that energy. So, in today's lesson, we learned about the 7 life processes for living organisms to be able to live. If you took any of these puzzle pieces away from the equation, then a living organism may not be able to survive. Maybe for a little bit they could survive without food for energy, but before too long it's gonna end and that animal or living organism could be dead. So it's very important that all of these life processes are combined together and they create a way for the animals to live.